Welcome to the next video in the Systems Programming series. We're discussing the Dive into Systems textbook, moving on to, in Chapter 2, Section 2.3, now talking about pointers and functions. Essentially, what we're starting off talking about is how you pass a pointer to a function and why you would want to do that. We mentioned this a little bit before, but first of all, here is a sort of declaration of a function that receives a pointer to an int, right? So you can tell by the type declaration of the argument that this the argument has to have type a pointer to an int. Now, if you want to use this function, you want to call the function later on, say you have an int x, then to pass the pointer to x, again, you use this AND syntax to get the address of the variable x. Now the function, right, the function calls its parameter input, and the function can dereference the input, right? It can use this star to follow the pointer over to that address in memory and assign the value 100 there. Looking at this function here, so we have a prototype of a function which has a pointer to an int. We have the main function. Let's look at that later, the change value function. So this is going to take the pointer, it declares a variable val, and it follows the input address to wherever that is and takes that value and puts it in val. So whatever variable we had, let's see where this happens. Okay, so in the function, we're going to call change value on the address of x. So the address of x seems to be storing the value 30 at the moment that that is called. So over here, val is going to receive that value 30 in this particular example. And then not only that, but input is going to, we're going to follow that address to what was an address that was holding the value 30, and we're going to put the value 100 there. I guess we know this is the part that's going to execute because val is 30 is less than 100, so this is the line of code that will execute, and therefore the input, and we're going to follow it over to its address and assign the value of 100. What that means back outside of the context of the function is that over here, when we print the value of x, that value is going to be 100 because, it's precisely because we use the pointer to the address rather than making a copy of the value. So here's a stack diagram that is trying to express this basic idea. The main function is called initially. X, believe we said was initially in the main function initially was 30, but we make the call to the change value function, and its variable input holds the address of x, and therefore this thing is, as the diagram suggests, pointing over to the same location as x. And that's why when assigning it the value 100, that assignment shows up back in the main function. Okay.